Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit's Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. 25th of October is quite a unique date, and this is the date when there is a solar eclipse, a partial solar eclipse, which will be visible west of Africa, some parts of Russia, Europe, and in fact the entire India will see the partial solar eclipse. And this partial solar eclipse is an eclipse of great importance, especially because this is being formed because of Ketu. And whenever there is a solar eclipse, definitely there will be Sun, Moon, and either Rahu or Ketu coming together. So this is Ketu, Sun and Moon in the sign of Libra. But there is another planet caught in this, war of eclipse, this event, and that is Venus. And Venus is the lord of Libra zodiac sign. Let's discuss in detail what this eclipse has to offer and what this eclipse brings in our life. But before that, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. And for consultations, you can drop me an email. Let's understand in depth what is this eclipse all about, what effect it will produce for your life as well as in the global platform. Let's discuss that more in details. Eclipses, quite a natural phenomena. Solar eclipse is an annual phenomena. Is it different or is it like something unique? Actually, no. Astronomically, it's not a unique phenomena. It's an astonishing phenomena, but not very unique. It happens every year. But astrologically, if we try to assess the planetary position with respect to the grahana, we will see that lot is happening around this eclipse. First of all, this eclipse is being formed just after Ketu moving into Swati Nakshatra. And this Swati Nakshatra Grahan is again holding lot of secret powers, especially the occult and the tantra is extremely strong during this eclipse. So any mantra jap done, especially if you are a tantric practitioner, you will see that the occult energy, the sensation of the sensitivity of the occult forces will be increased multiple times. And because of Moon also being present there naturally, but because of Venus presence there, this increases the tantra and the tantra shakti. And especially this is also going to give you power of creation, power to bring major changes in life. And a lot of people who are either Libra moon sign, Libra ascendant, or who have majority of planets in Libra zodiac sign, or somehow if your Mahadasha Lord your current Mahadasha Lord has some connection with Libra, then you will be the one that will be maximum impacted by this solar eclipse. Good or bad will depend on how you take this energy, how you utilize this energy, and where is Libra in your birth chart. People with Libra in 6th house, 8th house and 12th house, and especially people with Libra in 8th house, which means Pisces ascendant natives. If you are a Pisces ascendant or moon sign, this eclipse will have maximum impact on you and can bring heavy transformations. Now, whenever an eclipse is formed by Ketu, it tends to bring, on a very mundane level, it tends to bring more bad than good, more harm than good. The reason is that Ketu takes some strong measures to bring changes in the energy exchange throughout the world, and it starts making things quite difficult for places where these eclipses are visible. I'm talking from the geopolitical sense. So you can understand that the geopolitical situation throughout the world, and especially the area where the conflict is going on right now, will see a lot of complication because of this. And because it is Ketu, remember Ketu is like one shot finish. Now that is something which is interesting here, because one leader, because Sun is obviously talking about the kings and the leader, it can bring more and more threat to that situation that can further complicate tensions throughout the world. And now, because it is a Libra zodiac sign, this means toppling the balance. Remember, Libra is always about maintaining that balance between good and evil, right and wrong, plus and minus, dark and dark and light. And Libra is a perfect balance between them. And that is why it exists. The world exists because of Libra energy. And this maintenance is impacted because of this eclipse around the Swati Nakshatra in Libra zodiac sign. And in your individual life also, you will see that few things in your life will be off balance. That means suddenly there can be a lot on your plate. Suddenly you may take more responsibility than you can even imagine or you can handle. And that can put you into a situation where you don't know what to do. Although the situation will be temporary, but the impact that it can produce in your life can be lifelong. Be very careful how you take on responsibilities in your life and how you manage things. Time management will become one of the bigger problems here. Ketu and Sun are coming together, so definitely this is one area where a lot of people will have this feeling of taking sannyas, leaving the material life and going into spiritual life. Because it is Libra zodiac sign, which is natural 7th house of the Kal Purush, so it will also affect the contracts, the business dealings throughout the world. A lot of agreements may be just cancelled. So this is going to impact businesses throughout the world. The trade will be impacted. And how can the trade be impacted? This is mostly because of some transportation issue, logistics issue. And you must right now put yourself into a kind of a preparation where you should be slightly ready for an unnatural price hike. And overall, this will talk more about the problems one can face in this material world. Because see, material world will always move in sinusoidal cycles. There will be peaks and then there will be bottom. You cannot change that. This is just an example where the world is right now hitting kind of a rock bottom. And if we go any further from this, this is going to create more tension, more chaos. Probably Ketu is like a message that, hey, either you stop or things will become really bad in the future. So definitely it also talks about major reforms that will be taken, because here the saving grace is Venus. Because Venus is winning the war in this eclipse. And because it is the Lord of Libra, Venus will not tolerate. So if you are facing any problem in your life, or if you anticipate a business loss, if you anticipate that there can be problems in your career, start praying to Shukra. Venusian energy is the kind of energy that will heal this. And what is Venus? Power of balance, power of creation. Venus is that feminine, Stri Shakti, the power of nature. So we have to preserve the nature. We must also come together as a humanity and help the neighbor. Venus also talks about Tauran energy, where Mars will be placed. So definitely this can also talk about food shortage throughout the world. And remember, this won't happen in one day. Eclipses are triggers, and then it creates an impact over a period of time, because it impacts your mindset. And because your mindset changes, you tend to take different decision. Like if I may choose path B, whereas otherwise I would have chosen path A. A would have a different set of consequences and B will have an absolutely different set of results. That is how the future changes. So these eclipses can actually change future. Should you be scared because of this eclipse? Actually, no. You should never be scared about any planetary movement, because these planetary movements will keep on oscillating between good and bad. What should you actually do? Well, this is like an offer of energy from the divine to all of us, and we can utilize this energy to actually eclipse the dark forces within us. How can we do that? Look at the area of your horoscope where Libra is placed. Definitely that part of the area will need to have some reform, some major push will be needed. Say Libra rules your 11th house. That means your source of income, from wherever you earn. You might have to give a serious thought about that angle of life. If Libra rules your 4th house, then you might have to give a serious thought about vehicles, about your house. Maybe renovation is needed. Maybe you're ignoring something. Because see, Ketu and Sun and Moon combination simply means that this will simply wipe off something or some part of your life, and we have to ensure that the wiping off is done from the negative part of the life and not the positive part of the life. Because Ketu can be sometimes merciless. We can also pray to Surya, chanting Gayatri Mantra, and also chanting Aditya Hriday Stotra daily will be helpful during this time. But try to understand Ketu, Sun, Moon, Venus coming together with an exalt Mercury in the sign of Virgo. Not really exalt, but kind of in the same house, in the own house. And then there is a Jupiter angle there. Jupiter is also, in the sign of Pisces. It is retrograding. And where is Pisces with respect to Libra? It is in the 6th house. So this eclipse is also going to challenge our knowledge. Maybe you are in your career and your knowledge can be challenged, especially if Libra is posing some effect on you. You might have a doubt on your knowledge. So is it a good time to learn and upgrade and upskill yourself? Absolutely yes, because that will give you more and more confidence. Now, no matter what kind of career you are in, just refresh yourself if you want to play safe. If you want to just be in the mental safety, no anxiety mode, then just refresh your knowledge a bit and think that you have started again. Because Ketu is always like full stop and restart. Ketu and Sun, Moon can also act as a blessing for so many people. Now, how can this be a blessing? See, this can also mean an end to some pain and suffering, some prarabdha. So, you see, if in your horoscope, from the area of Libra, if you have been suffering from a very long time, then this eclipse might be a trigger where that suffering might come to an end. You might get moksha from that suffering. Things might become much better. The only problem here is because this is an operation done by Ketu, it will need some cuts, it will need some rapid movement, some sudden ups and downs, and that may give you a slightly jerky moment in the life. But don't you worry, because that is one thing that will take you out from the problems where you are in right now. From the career perspective, this will show that people throughout the world will rethink about their career. The only problem is that the financial institution will be in big trouble during this time. Because see, 7th house is also house of business. Business, trading is always supported by banking industry. If banking is hit, so will the business will be. So that portion of the world is also going to see some sort of, setback. But because Venus is present there will be some relief. That means many things can be buffered and somehow managed. And then you will not see a fall that you were anticipating. There will be some damage, but it won't be that extensive as we are thinking it will be. So don't think that this is a completely disastrous time. No. It is a time when the disaster might happen if we become ignorant, if we become clueless, if we become totally reckless in our life. But if we are responsible and if we are sensible and if we are going by analyzing each and every moment, now we know that there is an eclipse, now we know that this is an occult time, now we know that things are moving and things must move very carefully, because just after the eclipse, which happens in Libra by the way, you will see few days later Mars will become retrograde in Gemini and then fall back to Taurus in November. So that also cannot be ignored, because what happens within 15-20 days of eclipse is very important. Plus there is a lunar eclipse in the sign of Aries 15 days from the solar eclipse. So that is one area which we must understand. We must not be scared. There might be fear and anxiety in your mind if your moon is weak, if your moon is under the affliction, especially people with Ketu moon conjunction, Rahu moon conjunction, Saturn Rahu moon conjunction, Saturn Ketu moon conjunction, moon in Scorpio and moon in Libra. We'll see that their sensitivity to minor fluctuations will increase. You might fall sick at every change of weather. You might be very sensitive to the change in the Prakriti. Any negative energy in the home can affect you. The best way is keep reverberating the vibrations of Om chanting or Mahamrityunjay mantra in your home. You can do havan in your home. If you don't know anything, at least buy a Tibetan bowl and just use that bell rings and the sounds of the bowl, and let the vibration move throughout the house. You can also use the dhuna, the smoke from the rituals, and that smoke will also help you recover from any mental anxiety. But it has to be a regular practice. It's not a one-day practice. It is not that you will do only on 25th and then later you won't do. You have to continue this for another 6-7 months to see the change in your mood and the change in the way you feel life. Now, one more angle you must observe, that anyone who becomes careless, anyone who is like very casual in life during this time, and if your horoscope is slightly negative, you might see a financial setback. So be very careful on that angle. Second, when we talk about Libra, do you know that Libra sits right in front of Aries? And if Aries is the beginning of the Dharma trine, Libra is the center of Kama trine. That means Libra decides what will you receive, no matter what your expectations are. Libra is the balance of what you should and what you should not. That means here, if you have, too much of power of attraction, you can manifest anything in your life, but maybe that's not what you need. What if you get something that you don't need? You will face the problem and you will be at fault there. So here we have to understand, what can we let go? What can we leave behind? One part of our personality will change this way or that way. For some it will be a very less change, for some it will be a dramatic change. But the change is inevitable, and the change is positive, it's for good. Reforms should be taken throughout your life, throughout the areas wherever you find problem, and a concrete step has to be taken. Life must move in the positive direction, and that is also the message of Mars in Mrigashira Nakshatra. There can be some other dangers, like the danger of solar storm, solar flares, satellite communication, problems in communication industry, but those are minor things and that can be taken care by technological advancements in modern day and age. Now let's understand quickly in one line what for each moon sign. Now this is not as per ascendant, this is as per moon sign, because eclipse will have first impact on your mind, then it will have an impact in reality. So let's understand for each moon sign the eclipse and its impact on your mind. Aries moon sign, Mesh Rashi. In your case, the eclipse will be in the 7th house. So you will have to be very careful from the angle related to contracts, business, marriage, disputes in marital life. So that is one area where you will see majority of changes, and there can be some triggers through the 7th house, which is also the how you balance your life overall. You may also find it difficult to manage your time, and it can also impact your Kundalini energy also. So what should you do? Do yoga, maintain discipline, try to be in peace with everyone around you, and try not to initiate an unnecessary battle, an unnecessary fight. Also, from the business perspective, take care of your finances, take care of your books, and just don't take any dramatic measure unless you are forced by the divine. And then if you are supposed to take a dramatic measure, just have a fallback plan. Taurus moon sign. Now in your case, the eclipse will happen in the 6th house. Now 6th house is definitely what talks about enemies. Chant Ma Bagla Mukhi mantra. You can also chant Bajrang Band if you feel you are in a lot of problems, especially because of the competition that you are in, or the enemy is troubling you more than what you can handle. This is also a bit difficult for people who are already in some court cases, and this may call for some unexpected outcome or out of the court settlement. So that is also one angle where you will have to be slightly careful. This is also not the time to initiate any war, and be very careful from all legal angles. From the health perspective, it is always right. to stay safe from sharp objects. While driving, be very careful. And because it is sixth house is the house of seva. Offer your seva to old people, do something for your parents, and respect every creature. So you may have to take a pledge that you will see Paramatma in all living creatures on this earth, on the planet, and then you will see that the intuition will rise. You will be able to win over your enemies, and you will see that the things will become much more positive in your life. Gemini moon sign. Now, in case if you are a Gemini moon sign, the eclipse will happen in your 5th house. Now, 5th house is all about learning, education. It is also about your Purva Punya, past life positive karma. This means some portion of the past life good deeds will cancel out the negative deeds. So there can be a sudden pause to the problems in your life. So in fact, this eclipse will trigger something positive. You might have to face some trouble, maybe some tension towards your children, their behavior, their education. Don't worry. This only means that this is calling for some sacrifice with respect to your child. Now, for those people who are unmarried, who are old, who does not have a child, for you, this is more about being more expressive and how your expression can create controversy in your life. So when you are talking with someone, and in fact, this is for everyone, if you're talking, try to see that you are not eclipsing somebody's image. You're not trying to, put someone to shame or make someone feel bad through your conversation. Take care of your gut health and doing the yoga, especially for the regions near the navel, near the solar plexus, and also healing your solar plexus chakra are some of the ways by which you can manage the eclipse and their energies, and you will see that this will also increase your appetite and hunger for success. Cancer moon sign. Now, in case if you are a Cancer moon sign, this eclipse will be in the 4th house. This means there can be something that can bring more trouble in your house, especially in your car. So the best way to handle this energy is throw out anything that is unnecessary. Declutter your house immediately. Also, for your car, take care of the servicing, take care of anything that can bring an accident, damage that can create a possibility of a problem. This is also the time when you will change the way you make yourself happy. Somebody very close to your heart may betray you, so you will have to be very watchful of that angle. So basically, any kind of blind trust or blind faith can bring negative result. So just you need to be aware, not that you have to doubt everybody, but just be aware so that you are not vulnerable. You can chant Aditya Hriday Stotra and don't stay awake till late in the night, and don't do any mantra jap in the night. Overall, it's going to be kind of positive because Jupiter is already having an aspect on your moon, and therefore your mind will be absolutely strong enough to manage anything. But because 4th house is very close and dear to the moon, that means it will affect your heart and Anahat chakra. So you can also do Pankaj Mudra and Anahat chakra meditation, the heart chakra meditation, and see the world through compassionate eyes, and try to also show compassion towards animals and other living beings. You will see that this will bring a major change in your consciousness. Leo moon sign. In case of Leo moon sign, this eclipse will happen in the 3rd house. So it is going to make you give up some activity, and it is also going to make you take up some unnecessary, unwanted, unexpected challenge. In some cases, it might be unavoidable, but the cases where it is avoidable, you have to avoid. You should also not initiate any fight with your siblings or neighbors, and take care of your hands if you are somehow operating with sharp objects, knife or any sharp metal. While driving, you have to be very, very careful not to overspeed. So this is, I think, the right time to follow traffic laws and not violate any of them. 3rd house is also something where your courage will be questioned, and you might have to face some really challenging scenario. But this is the best time when you can face your fear and then get rid of it. Ketu can give you that power. So whatever your fear is, this is the time that you face it. You can do what you call as Abhaya Mudra. You can search on Google. Abhaya Mudra is a kind of Hasta Mudra, hand gesture, that helps you become more powerful. And you can also chant Narsimha Mantra, the Ugram Veeram Mantra. That will also give you more courage. Praying to Lord Hanuman is also one of the way by which you can bring more and more courage in your life. Remember, this is the time when you might also take a leap of faith. When you're taking a leap of faith, always have a parachute. Always have a backup. Don't just jump without knowing the consequence of your action. While communicating, you might see that you are being silenced. And this is a gradual movement over the period of next 6-7 months. If you are a Leo moon sign and your third house from ascendant is somehow occupied by negative planets or third lord is afflicted, then you might see that you will have to bring major changes in your body language, soft skill, and the way you express. So that is one part of life that you might have to leave behind, and you have to completely embark a new journey. Things are good, things are fine. Take care of your health, because your ascendant lord is Sun, which is in eclipse. So take care of your health, because any ignorance towards your own happiness, towards your own thoughts, low self-confidence is only going to put you into this mental loop where you will, think more, do less. But you should do more, plan more, and think more. There has to be a balance. Virgo moon sign. Kanya Rashi. For you, the eclipse is going to be in the second house. This talks about probably leaving one home, going into a different home. There can be issues in your personal life, and this can also cut you off. But sometimes the cutting off can be really painful, but sometimes cutting off can be really needed. Like you are setting yourself free. So this is, I will say, the transit of freedom, the eclipse of freedom for you. Take care of your bank account. And if you can manage your wealth through multiple instruments, manage your wealth in that manner. And you might also face some worry because of the money present in your bank account, because of the wealth, because of the assets that you have. Don't worry. Things will become better. You need to stop thinking and start doing. Focus on karma. And the more karma you will do, the more powerful you will become. Now, the good thing about Virgo moon sign is that while the eclipse happens, Mercury has given a lot of strength to Virgo by being exalted, and Mercury is in your Lagna. So you are in the perfect position to actually challenge all odds and then find a victory. Just that in your family, there can be a dispute with your father, grandfather over values and value system, what you believe and what they believe. Avoid those kind of conflict, and sometimes you will have to just let go and embrace and mix. Do some alchemy in your personal life, and you will see things will become absolutely right. Take care of the food that you eat, and just give up some bad habits. That will be helpful in the long run. Libra. If you're a Libra moon sign, then a lot is happening on your moon. So you are obviously the one of the most impacted zodiac sign. What should you do during this time? Because it is happening on your mind, this is the time when you have to tune yourself with the higher power, higher vibration. So vibrate at a higher frequency. And this may force you to, do some sacrifice, let go of some mental blocks, and face your fear, fight challenges. So mentally, this can be a very troublesome time for Libra moon sign. But at the end of the day, after this bumpy journey ends, and then the good things begin, the Mars becomes direct, Jupiter becomes direct, New Year comes, you will see that whatever changes, whatever push that you have given to yourself, that will prove worthy. Because it's not easy does not mean it is bad. It is difficult, and therefore it is good. So take that challenge and bring that necessary changes in your life. You have to do that. And don't remember any bad past. This is the time when you get rid of the bad past. So a lot of bad and negative about you will be cancelled and will be removed, and you will be decluttered. It's a transit of detoxification. And when you clean your home, lot of clutter makes your hand dirty. But after a while, after the cleaning is done, your hands are washed, your hands are clean, the home is clean, and everything is brand new. So you will be seeing that your life in one way or the other will be rejuvenated, renovated. And for a lot of you who are Libra moon sign with a bad chart, there will be a lot of resurrection of life towards positive and higher vibration, provided you choose higher vibration. If you choose to stay in the lower vibration, this will just push you to the Patala Lok. Be very careful on that part. Scorpio moon sign. If you're a Scorpio moon sign, remember your moon is debilitated. Now here the logic is 3 nakshatras. Either are you Vishakha nakshatra, you are Anuradha, or you are Jyeshtha. Now if you are in the Gandanta, then this can be a transit where you will see that you will face a lot of difficulties and challenges. But if you're not in Gandanta and you are in general sector of the debilitation, then you will absolutely be all right. Just that you might see that the personal life is getting impacted and the expenses will become very high. So be very careful on your personal level. Like, you should not do anything that impact your relationship. People who want to move into a foreign country for education, or at least you will have this feeling that you need to move out of wherever you are. Check the rationale of the feeling, whether you really should go out or you should not. Because feeling is triggered by this eclipse. This can be a good change, this can be a bad step also. You need to check your horoscope before taking any decisions, especially for Scorpio moon sign natives. Best thing is that Jupiter is in your 5th house. It is aspecting your ascendant. So whatever emotion and feeling that is originated during this eclipse, just write it down and do not react or act until Jupiter becomes direct. When Jupiter will become direct, your mind will see much more clearly, and then maybe the ideas that came during this eclipse and after this, and the power of and knowledge of Jupiter, club it, and you find the best possible solution in your life, the best possible opportunity. But in case you are getting any opportunity or that comes automatically, you can take a call on that. That can be positive. It can be about your career. It can be about your business. It can be about education. And if you're a student, you have to be very, very careful not to leave anything. Leave no stone unturned for success. Because remember, Rahu is in 6th house. This might make you feel so frustrated that you will leave the competition behind, and you will be more worried about what you don't have or what you can lose rather than what you already have. Appreciate what you have, and always write some reminders on the walls that whenever you feel frustrated, that is going to remind you what you already have. Look at the glass half full, not half empty, and that will make you more positive. Chant Gayatri Mantra, Hanuman Chalisa for greater benefits during this time. And you can also pray to Ma Mahalakshmi, because this is the day of Diwali. You can pray to Ma Mahalakshmi and ask and seek blessings and prosperity. Sagittarius moon sign, Dhanu Rashi. Now if your moon is in Sagittarius in your birth chart, then this eclipse will happen in the 11th house. Now this is a time when your expectations will be questioned and challenged, and you will question your own expectation. Remember, Jupiter, which is your Lagna Lord, is in the 4th house, and Jupiter is retrograde. A retrograde Jupiter means that you're already questioning your own heart, what you feel, what you like, what you dislike, and now there is an eclipse in the 11th house. Whenever 4th and 11th gets impacted, this means your assets, your wealth, your prosperity, your expectation, your happiness, your gains, everything gets impacted because of that. 11th house also means your network circle. So you will see that somebody from your own network circle can betray you, and you might have to, redefine what your network circle is. So don't trust blindly to anybody. Focus on your own mental strength and what can you do by yourself. Let's say nobody is with you. How will you fight this war? How will you face the situation? That is what will be your true power, and that is a message by this eclipse. Not that it is bad, but it only means that the network circle is going to be refined. Lot of people in the call list, you will see that there is no connect. So you may have to declutter and shorten your network circle. This is bad for people who depend on the network marketing, who depend on networking. So you may have to work lot more. And this means building new network, finding a new arena, finding a new source of income. And this can be a bit challenging, but you have to learn new things. And that is the message of the eclipse. It's like a new learning. Everything around you will try to teach you. So karmanneva dhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana should be the reminder each day, every moment in your life. Don't worry. Jupiter is already protecting you. So this eclipse will become an agent of positive transformation. Capricorn moon sign. This is a moon facing a retrograde Saturn, which has just become direct. Now, when your moon is facing Saturn already, any other event around your moon is going to irritate the mind further. But the moon has just seen a Saturn coming direct and Saturn becoming more powerful. So this is like, there's a hope. Things are becoming better. And now in your 10th house, there's an eclipse. This means this is a message that you have to reinforce your karma. You have to redesign your approach towards life, especially if you're involved in government businesses, if you're a government employee, if you're preparing for civil services, if you're preparing for any kind of government exam, if you deal with government contracts, or if you are at very executive leadership position. You will have to redefine your approach towards life, how you are going to spend the rest of your career, and if you are ambitious, if you are a sports personality, how are you going to avoid injuries and unnecessary trouble. Troubleshooting will become the theme for the next 6 months. And I'm talking about the theme. Lot will affect other transits, your horoscope, your Mahadasha. But that fine, it's like the salt in the food. It is in just a pinch, but it changes the taste. This eclipse and the result of this eclipse will be like the pinch of salt, which it will change the flavor. So don't be worried about the challenges that you face, but this is the time when you have to sincerely think on your career, your position, your authority, and fame and success. One wrong move and this can bring defamation. Some horoscopes will also see a sudden termination of that career, but then that totally depends on their own personal chart. This only means that you should not overload yourself with your career, and people who are workaholic will find this eclipse to be very challenging, because then this eclipse will either burn them out or will give them no work. Either of the two extremes, both are bad. So you need to have that work-life balance if you are a Capricorn moon sign. Be humble, be grounded, change the way you say you are trying to give an interview, you are failing. This is the time to give up that hope for some time. Rework on everything, restudy, think all the positive and negative, and then come back stronger. So this is the time when you take a step back and then come back stronger. That's the message of this eclipse. Aquarius moon sign. Now, if your moon is in Aquarius, then you are in Sadhasati. Saturn in the 12th house from your moon has just gone direct. Also, you are experiencing an eclipse in the 9th house, and the biggest problem is that Sun rules your 7th house. That means your belief system will be challenged. Whatever you have believed in your life, you will be put to a situation where you will have to give up that belief, otherwise you won't be able to survive. Say for example, somebody who is an expert in swimming and who is an expert swimmer now suddenly is thrown into sea. Now he has to face that challenge. Or he is a swimmer but he is said to do a marathon, and now that is like not his expertise. So you will be questioned on your expertise and knowledge. But this is a very good time for people who are inquisitive, curious, who are scientists, philosophers. Now, this is also the time when a lot of people can influence you to give up, say, a higher study. A situation or circumstance can develop that will make you give up your own dreams, desire, hope. Take every decision in your life very, very carefully. Note how your mind is impacted, who is impacting your mind, what is impacting your mind, and then wait. Give it a proper thought. Take as much time as you can and then decide any decision in a hurry. And this eclipse trigger can make you take wrong steps. Remember, next year, Saturn will be on your moon. One wrong move and you will regret your decision for 3 years. Right move and you will be humble, you will accept, you will be accommodating, and Saturn will give you the brightest possible time in the future. Yes, Saturn can give you bright time. Well, Saturn is not your enemy. So try to manage things in a way and do a lot of spiritual practices, because Ketu in the 9th house talks about extreme spirituality. You have to let go of maybe one way of thinking, and maybe you have to connect to another way of thinking. So you have to widen your viewpoint, and you have to make your mind more broader. Reading Bhagavad Gita, reading more and more scriptures, merging science with spirituality are some of the ways by which you can improve your planetary position. Pisces. Pisces will see a negative side of the eclipse, because this, first of all, this is happening in the 8th house from the moon. Anything that happens that goes on 8th house from the moon doesn't like that. Plus, Sun rules your 6th house. So 6th Lord in 8th house, Viparit Raj Yoga, but then there is an eclipse. So you will have to be very careful on multiple areas in your life, especially your health, your fitness. Do yoga, do pranayam. Although I will say 90% of the negativity will be totally absorbed by Jupiter in your 1st house. This is like if you are born in this time and you're facing this eclipse with Jupiter in the 1st house, God has been really kind on you. Because Jupiter will definitely buffer you from many, many, many negative energies. But that does not mean something cannot leak. Nothing is foolproof. So when Jupiter is on the ascendant, try to improve the power of Jupiter. Be like Jupiter. Focus more on Jnana, knowledge. Learn more. Study more. Read more chapters. If you're a student, you have to be very, very sincere. And even if you are in any kind of profession, you have to just simply read thoroughly, revise, unlearn, relearn, because the challenges that will come because of the 8th house eclipse can actually act like the waves that changes the course of the boat. So make your boat stronger and then let the wave come. That's fine. It will be an added experience, and maybe that will give you more ideas how you can strengthen your ship. On the other hand, if you meditate, if you focus on the occult energy, you will see that you will be able to bring out the best possible energy within you, and you will be able to reform, and you will be able to get rid of all the negative energy. Ketu is not always bad. 6th Lord finding in the 8th house itself, in the 8th house with Ketu, means end of fight, end of conflict, end of problem. Jupiter in the 1st house, blessing in disguise. Most impacted, negative impacted, but sometimes double negative is positive. So that was the analysis of the eclipse in the 12 moon sign. I hope you like this video. So please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, and don't miss any other update. Subscribe, stay connected. We'll meet you in the next video. Till then, namaste.